Hello and welcome back to part 4 of this travel guide. And this time, we're 30,000 feet in the air. All right, listen up, travel enthusiasts. We're talking all things flights today. How to survive those long hauls, how to arrive without feeling like you got run over by a baggage cart, and most importantly, how to actually enjoy the experience. Yeah, you heard me right. Enjoy. Flying doesn't have to be a stressful ordeal. It's all about knowing the right moves, the insider tips, the hacks that turn those hours in the air into a mini vacation. So sit back, relax, maybe grab yourself a ginger ale and those pretzels they give out, and let's get this show on the road. First up, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, airplane food. Now, I know, airplane food gets a bad rap, but honestly, I've had some surprisingly decent meals up here. Plus, there's something about that little tray of food that just screams vacation, you know? But timing is key, people. No one wants to be that person digging into a fragrant curry while their neighbor is trying to catch some Z's. So, pro tip, if you're on a long-haul flight, pay attention to when they usually serve meals. It's usually a couple of hours after takeoff, and then again a few hours before landing. And listen, if you're picky or you've got dietary restrictions, don't be afraid to order a special meal ahead of time. Trust me, it's way better than choking down a rubbery chicken breast while silently cursing your life choices. Now, if you're on a budget airline or a shorter flight, chances are you're on your own for sustenance. My advice? Pack some snacks, my friend. And I'm not talking about a measly bag of peanuts here. I'm talking about real, satisfying snacks that will keep those hunger pangs at bay. Think trail mix, protein bars, fruit, you know, the good stuff. Oh, and one last thing, stay hydrated. The air inside airplanes is notoriously dry, so it's important to drink plenty of water throughout your flight. Skip the sugary drinks and alcohol, though. As tempting as that mini bottle of vodka might seem, it'll just dehydrate you even more and leave you feeling groggy. All right, let's be real. One of the best parts of flying is the in-flight entertainment system. Am I right? You've got endless movies, TV shows, music, even games. It's like a buffet for your brain. But before you get too excited, let's talk strategy. First things first, check if your airline has an app. Sometimes you can browse the entertainment options even before you board. This way, you can plan your in-flight binge-watching session like a pro. Next, familiarize yourself with the system. Is it touchscreen? Do you have a remote? Knowing how to navigate the interface will save you from those frustrating moments of accidentally pausing the movie when you just wanted to adjust the volume. And speaking of volume, don't forget your headphones. In fact, noise-canceling headphones are a godsend on flights. They'll block out the engine noise, the crying babies, the chatty neighbors, all the distractions that can ruin your cinematic experience. Now, for the main event, choosing what to watch. This is where things get personal. Do you use this time to finally catch up on that Oscar-winning movie everyone's been talking about? Or do you go full-on guilty pleasure and binge-watch a trashy reality show? Hey, no judgment here, it's your flight! Alright, so maybe the in-flight entertainment isn't your thing, or maybe you just want to be extra prepared. Whatever the case, downloading content before takeoff is always a good idea. Trust me, there's nothing worse than settling into your seat, ready to binge-watch your favorite show, only to realize the Wi-Fi is down. Or worse, it costs an arm and a leg. So before you leave the house, download all your must-have entertainment. We're talking movies, TV shows, podcasts, audiobooks, even games. Load up your phone, tablet, laptop, whatever devices you're bringing on board. And don't forget to charge those devices the night before. There's nothing more frustrating than your battery dying mid-flight, especially if you're in the middle of a gripping thriller. If you're a gamer, download some offline games to keep you entertained. There are tons of great options out there that don't require an internet connection. And hey, if you're old school like me, you can't go wrong with a good old-fashioned book. There's something so satisfying about turning physical pages, you know? Plus, it's a great way to disconnect from the digital world for a few hours. Let's be real, sleeping on a plane can be a challenge. Between the cramped seats, the crying babies, and the constant hum of the engine, it's no wonder so many of us arrive at our destinations feeling like we haven't slept a wink. But don't worry, fellow travelers, I'm here to share some tips that will help you achieve peak in-flight slumber. First things first, dress comfortably. Ditch the tight jeans and uncomfortable shoes in favor of loose-fitting clothing and slip-on shoes. Trust me, your circulation will thank you. And speaking of comfort, a neck pillow is a must-have for any long-haul flight. It might look a little goofy, but it'll save you from waking up with a crick in your neck. Now let's talk about creating a sleep-conducive environment. Dim the overhead light, close your window shade, and put on an eye mask to block out any distractions. Earplugs or noise-canceling headphones are also lifesavers when it comes to drowning out ambient noise. And finally, if you're struggling to fall asleep, try listening to some relaxing music or a guided meditation. There are tons of great apps out there that offer sleep-inducing sounds and stories. Okay, listen up, folks, because this next one is important. Flying is a shared experience, which means we've got to be mindful of our fellow passengers. Nobody wants to be stuck next to a rude or inconsiderate traveler, so let's go over some basic plane etiquette, shall we? First up, the overhead bins. We've all been there, the mad scramble to find space for our carry-on luggage. Here's the deal, be efficient and considerate. Place your bag wheels first, and only use the space above your own seat. Don't be that person who hogs the entire bin with their oversized duffel bag. Next, let's talk about personal space. Airplane seats are already cramped enough, so let's try to be respectful of our neighbors, all right? Avoid sprawling into their space and keep your elbows tucked in when using the tray table. And for the love of all that is holy, please refrain from kicking the seat in front of you. Now, let's address the elephant in the room noise. We all know that flights can be noisy, but there are things we can do to minimize our own contributions. Keep your conversations at a reasonable volume and avoid blasting your music or movies without headphones. And if you're traveling with kids, bless your heart, but please try to keep them entertained and as quiet as possible. All right, we're almost there, folks. The plane has landed, you've retrieved your luggage, and now it's time for the final hurdle. Immigration and customs. This part can be a bit daunting, but don't worry, I've got your back. By following a few simple tips, you can breeze through this process like a pro. First things first, make sure you have all your documents in order. This includes your passport, visa, if required, and any other relevant travel documents. Keep them handy and easily accessible. Nobody wants to be that person holding up the line while they frantically search through their backpack. Next, grab an immigration form, if required, before you even get off the plane. This will give you plenty of time to fill it out at your own pace, without the pressure of a long queue behind you. Make sure you fill it out completely and accurately, using legible handwriting. Trust me, the immigration officers will appreciate it. When it's your turn at the counter, approach with confidence and a smile. Be prepared to answer basic questions about your trip, such as the purpose of your visit and the length of your stay. And whatever you do, don't make any jokes. Immigration officers have heard them all, and they're not amused. And there you have it, folks. Your guide to not just surviving, but actually enjoying your next flight. Remember, flying doesn't have to be a drag. With a little preparation and the right mindset, it can actually be a pleasant experience. So next time you're jetting off to a new destination, keep these tips in mind. Pack your snacks, download your entertainment, and embrace the journey. And who knows, you might even arrive at your destination feeling refreshed and energized. Until next time, safe travels.